Welcome back to the channel. This is our new segment that we're going to be doing over a course of a few series called Reality Armchair. We rebranded the channel as well for like the 20 people that are still here. We're going to talk about a few shows. I just kind of want to get this out of the way. I think right now we'll do Love is Blind when it's over, probably the next season of The Traitors, and then Survivor. Those will probably be the main three. Maybe The Challenge, depending on the cast of the next season.
I'd rather do like an overview of The Traitors than Love is Blind. Love is Blind has been sucking.
That is kind of true. I mean, it depends on how this plays out. I think, yeah, so far as Love is Blind, I can't even remember a single name, but if you finish this video and you're liking the content, or you're liking the video, that's what you can expect within this series. We'll do other stuff, but we're gonna have a segment called, or I guess a series called Reality Armchair, where we talk about reality shows from our armchair. And today we watched Survivor season 38. 48. So I guess we should just get into the cast first, because that's the most important part of any show. You have the list in front of you. I can only remember a handful of them.
Just talk about standouts.
Okay, standouts I think obviously has to go to, for probably not so great reasons, and I think this is gonna be spoilers if you haven't seen.
You should have watched the episode.
Yeah, if you're not watching the episode and you're watching this episode, then I don't know what you're doing. But
don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, but the final tribal council, or the not final tribal council, but the first tribal council was against Steph and Say. Her name's Say, S-A-I. And I think she's obviously a standout. She found the idol immediately, and I could tell like from the jump she was playing really, really hard. I think
within 2 seconds of walking into camp, she was talking about alliances.
Yeah, and she found the idol right away, and she's like pretty big gamer.
Actually, the other thing that she did was she talked to Stephanie and Mary. Yeah, Stephanie and Mary first, created an alliance with them, and then decided she didn't like them. So then she went to the 4 guys.
Yeah.
And actually, Kevin was still...
He was gone. But they
she
included him. Yeah, even though he wasn't there.
So she was aligning with 3 men and herself, creating this alliance outside of Mary and Stephanie.
I think she's going to be quite a wrecking ball. I think, again, spoilers, they voted out Steph. And I think Steph probably isn't great, for the challenges, maybe. I don't know.
She lost doing the puzzle.
Yeah.
Which was the reason why she got voted out.
I think she would have been voted out either way. Maybe if the other girl was doing the puzzle, maybe she would have gotten voted out.
I think it would have come down to Mary and Steph.
But Steph was voted out, and I think that was kind of a mistake. I really feel like Say, even though she might be a better competitor challenge wise, I think she's gonna be like a loose cannon, and she's just gonna like really just be a fucking wrecking ball throughout the entire show. Well, however long she'll go. I don't think she'll go very far.
Yeah, if they keep losing, I think she'll be on the chopping block.
Yeah, I think the people she's aligned with are very level-headed, which is
not.
Which is kind of why I thought they were gonna vote her out, just because, like, especially with the tribal, she was pretty lippy. But I think we should go with the
She was kind of rude.
Yeah, she's kind of rude.
She was really rude. She was making all kinds of faces and like making Steph feel like she was not even playing the game, or like trying to say that she wasn't even playing the game, just because she was appreciating like the stars in Fiji.
Yeah, and because she wasn't running off the first chance she got to find the idol.
Yeah, where Say was using all of her time to find the idol, which Stephanie wasn't aware that she was also using her alliance to find the idol.
Which I think is funny, because there's a person named Star. I don't know if that's her whole name or like a nickname, but they were looking for the idol right away, and their whole tribe was like weirded out by it and was like, you can't do that. That's kind of like
it's like taboo, like you should.
Yeah, it's a general rule of like thumb when you go on Survivor to not look for the idol right away. I remember that's what Ty got in some hot water with, because he was looking right away. And then with this tribe, they're like, Say is like telling her group, like, hey, let's all look for the idol.
Yeah.
And no one bats an eye. They're all like, okay.
I think that's the only reason why it worked for her.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Kevin did say, like, part of the reason why he was considering not being with Say was because she has the idol. I don't have the idol.
Yeah.
I guess it's something to say that she's using it for.
I think she got pretty lucky with her tribe too. I think if she'd been on the other tribe, she would have been ostracized pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I think another well, you can go with your next standout because I have mine in mind. I think we were gonna probably say the
Eva.
same person, Eva.
Yeah, and her alliance, who is Joe.
Yeah, which I think on screen was the first alliance that was made. Like it was instant. Like when they first stepped on the island, I think was it them?
I think the first alliance that happened or was said to have happened was Say and Stephanie and Mary. She obviously like threw that in the trash immediately, but then it was Say talking to the guys.
I think I kind of missed that.
Eva and Joe were the second alliance.
And theirs I think have felt the most compelling I've probably ever seen on the show. I haven't seen every season of Survivor. I've maybe seen, like, if I was being generous, maybe 10 seasons, which I don't even think is true.
I've seen every season.
She's seen every season. And I feel like every season there is a new, like, disability or struggle or, like...
that's part of the show.
A diversity or, like, something that makes them stand out for a challenge that they have in their life, like whether it's gay or, you know, their race or an actual disability. And I feel like for at least as long as I've been watching the show, I think autism has been the first time it's been brought up, at least in this way.
Possibly.
Which I think is kind of crazy for 48 seasons for it not to be. I think it's one of the most wide known mental disabilities.
Yeah.
And I think I can kind of appreciate it. I think it's kind of annoying sometimes when it's kind of made their entire personality within a show, but I appreciate that within Survivor specifically, but I can appreciate that she was trying to keep it on the down low and was only telling him.
She only shared it with
Joe. And I think
she can trust him.
Her reasonings were very compelling, and I think it was very smart because she actually did. I would have never thought about it, but she didn't want to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I think that could easily happen for somebody who is sick enough to do it.
Well, yeah, she was talking about how she can't really tell if people are lying to her. She will have a hard time in the social game. And so she only shared it with Joe because she trusted him and she saw that he had strength in family and valued his family so much that she figured she could share with him, and he really did take it on.
I was a little worried because I was like, I don't know if she's like reading into him maybe too much and he's not really what she thinks he is.
No, she was spot on.
Yeah, she was spot on, and he's like very nice. And
he even said, like, if it loses me the game,
yeah, he was crying about it. Like it was pretty emotional.
Very sweet.
And for like full disclosure, I have high functioning autism or Asperger's. And I've been around a lot of people with autism. I was in special ed, and like, you see a lot of when you have it and you're aware of other people with it and you're surrounded by them, you can really see like people's development skills and where they're at. And she is like, I can tell that she's been working on it for quite some time. Like she said she was diagnosed
like
as early as
1 year old.
1 year old, yeah, which is like
really early.
What you pointed out, like it has to be severe for it to be diagnosed at that age, because I obviously have it. We have a daughter that's 2, and that's been my biggest concern is like whether or not she has it. And our doctor has said we can't really diagnose it this early.
We'll just keep our eye on it, but for her to have been diagnosed that early would be severe. And
I have heard of some early signs, like stacking I think is a big one, and repetition. So she definitely
and her parents were also told that she won't ever be able to live on her own. Yeah. That the most she could hope for is to marry somebody with autism as well. Yeah. So
I think the biggest struggles autistic people have is definitely love and maybe even like purpose a little bit.
Yeah, and she's a female hockey player on a men's team.
Yeah, and
she's a beast.
Yeah, I was kind of like a little like she's coming off a little too strong or like a little too cocky because she was like, oh, I'm on a
nothing scares me. This doesn't scare me.
I'm on a guy's team on a hockey, and I'm like, all right, chill. And then she came out with this more like emotional and very personal side, and I could really appreciate it. And I think when I saw her not build her alliance, but when she declared her alliance to this guy, what's his name? Joe. I could tell that she was gaming pretty hard, and I think she's gonna get pretty far. That was my first prediction.
I think she will, especially because I think her team, Rocky, is going to sweep the game.
I think they're gonna make it. Most of them are gonna make it to the merge.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
They might even like never lose.
I've never seen that. I don't think, but that could happen.
I think it's happened before.
I'm sure it has, but I don't think I've seen it within my.
I know it's happened because there's been people at the merge who had to get their torch.
Oh, yeah. I think Michelle did.
It might have been Michelle.
I think Michelle did, yeah.
I can't remember specific things, but I can remember people at the merge had to get their torch lit. Yeah.
So I think those were my two big standouts, just because I think they took up most of the screen time, or like most of the.
A good chunk of it, or at least like heartthrobs.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen you cry at Survivor. I've
cried before.
Have you cried? I was gonna ask you that.
But that was probably like the most I've cried, especially in the first episode.
For Survivor?
Yeah.
I definitely could have let myself get there, and I was emotionally tearing up, but I was definitely holding it in, and I look over to you, and you're like sobbing.
Yeah. Well, were there other standouts for you? I think Kyle. It was Kyle and Kevin on the island.
Okay, I was gonna say Kyle. I was literally gonna say Kyle because Kyle, I think he'll get pretty far too. He's in a perfect situation right now. He's aligned with, well, I guess there's only one girl who's on the outs.
Well, the other thing is that alliances are not tested until tribal council. So his initial alliance or his set alliance currently is David, the muscly guy, Kyle, and Mitch and Camilla.
Oh, I was talking about on the other team.
Wait, not Mitch, Chrissy. No, this team, the orange team.
I was talking about the green team.
Oh,
I was saying that Kevin? Guy. Kevin is a standout.
Oh, okay.
You think Kyle's a standout?
I think Kyle was a standout from helping Kevin.
I thought that was pretty. I definitely would have been on the beach cussing out because for refresher if anyone needs it. So they had their first challenge for the like Flint and
to get their
supplies,
mm-hmm.
And then purple wins, and then orange wins second. Oh no,
orange and green had to go.
Yeah, orange and green had to go on a journey.
So they sent Kevin and Kyle.
So they do this like 3 steps. They have to find the machete. They have to get the pot off of the pole. And then the final step is they have to fill up these glass jugs with water from the ocean.
With a Dutch oven.
Yeah, with like a Dutch oven. So there's like no good spout or like funnel.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of pouring water.
Yeah.
And this guy's going fast. I think it was Kyle.
It was Kyle is very frantic.
Yeah, he was kind of
part of the challenge.
He was kind of bugging out a little bit, but he kind of whacks the glass jug, which obviously gets him disqualified.
He whacks it and it breaks.
If that were me, I would be swearing up. I would be really upset. I would definitely not be like.
Would you have given up on Survivor right then and there?
I'm
done.
I think mentally I would have, especially because he's gonna go back to his tribe. I think had it been, I hate that their names start with K, Kevin, right?
Kevin
I think
is on the green team.
I think had Kevin done that, or if I was in Kevin's position and I broke my arm or I hurt my shoulder, and I was going back to that tribal,
mm-hmm.
I would have probably been like, all right, I'm out. But I would have been like sulking for sure. But I think it was very smart for him to be like, because if he makes it to merge and he's there, then they'll obviously be homies, and I would
I
have
would
told.
think, because that was very sweet. That
Yeah.
Kyle, like, just started helping Kevin
I would-
instead of just watching him.
If I was Kevin, I would have told Kyle, "Yo, bro, I got you. I'm gonna tell my tribe, so when we make it to merge, they're all gonna know that you're a real one."
Yeah.
And because I thought I've never seen that before.
That was sweet. I don't think I've seen that before either. But I think they were standouts for that reason. And then I don't really want to comment on people's sexuality at this point. None of them have said it.
Yeah,
but I feel like there's a lot of gay people on this season.
There's, I think at least, well, no, only the one guy said it.
One guy,
he is a little bit of a standout.
His name is, where is he? Thomas.
I like Thomas actually
with the
a lot.
mustache.
Thomas is cool, and I think he was also one of the first players that I saw that was gaming pretty hard, because I think he formed an alliance. Yeah. Oh, I think he was
he
the one
ended
that
up forming an alliance with two straight. Well, he thought straight men.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the hairy guy, I forget his name.
Shahin.
Yeah, I believe the
sure
gay community would label him as a bear. Am I right?
Yeah, probably.
I feel really bad if he's not gay.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want to comment on people's sexuality until they've said it themselves.
But I think there's at least another one that's pretty. I think. Oh, Kyle. Kevin. I think Kevin might. We probably should.
Let's just hold off on commenting on
Yeah.
it until they've said something.
But I think Thomas is. I think he's playing a pretty good game, and I think he's on the purple tribe, right?
Kevin?
No, Thomas.
Thomas is on the purple.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a smooth ride to the merge. I think he's in a great spot, and
the trailer for the next episode did talk about their team having something happening, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, because weren't they all like, we don't trust this person because they're looking for the
I
idol?
feel like they were talking about Eva, saying that she was.
I hope not.
Running, like trying to form something against them, or I don't know. That's what the trailer made it seem like.
Yeah. So I think that's all the standouts. I kind of briefly talked it. We're gonna have a better structure for next episode, but I think for right now we're gonna talk about just like the events that happen. Like the four main ones, like the first challenge, the second challenge. We already kind of talked about the journey that they went on to get their tools or their supplies, so we don't really have to go too deep into that. We kind of went over everything that needed to go into that. But the first challenge was classic mud.
They always get dirty.
Yeah, mud. What is it? Mud rope, mud net. Like army crawl through mud. And Kevin, I think he
like injured his shoulder.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of whining a little bit, and then because obviously they're covered in mud, so you can't see his arm. But when he finally washes up, you can kind of see like some marks on his arm. So I don't know what he would have done, but I think it's.
I actually didn't even see anything.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting.
He just did something. I don't know. He was talking about it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they still sent him on the journey. And then he himself says, like, if I lose at this, like, I'm really
screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the other two teams did okay
in the challenge.
Yeah, like they weren't. I feel like, was it last season that one team just like straight up sucked all the time?
I feel like every season
there's
a team.
usually one team.
Every once
really
in a while,
sucks.
every once in a while, you get a season where it's pretty even.
I think it was last season that the puzzles were just like, are you kidding me?
Oh,
there
like
was
they're
somebody
so easy.
that didn't even put down like 2 pieces.
Oh, it was fucking the gamer commentary. Rome didn't get a single piece on the board, and they didn't vote him out, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Rome, that was the only time I've ever seen any game show, any like reality game show like this, where
he did nothing.
Everyone around him builds the entire puzzle and he doesn't get a single piece, not even like the base.
So in this one, they were all pretty close. I think the losing team, but that's jumping ahead to the last challenge. But I guess actually in this first one, Loggy, they were ahead of everybody because they were the only ones that even started throwing
Purple?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that one guy, he nailed it on the first one.
That was pretty good. They were ahead in that first one.
I mean,
the other teams didn't even get there.
They weren't ahead, but it didn't look like they were ahead by a ton.
They were the only ones that threw the sandbags.
Yeah, well, I think because they all got at the wall at the same time, but they were the first ones to get up the wall, and they were the first ones to get all the bags up.
I think Loggy was first to get to the
wall.
Yeah.
No, to climb the wall.
Yeah, they were the first to get.
No, they were the first ones to get there, but I think the other teams got there pretty shortly after, but they were just struggling to get up the wall.
They very much struggled, and then I would too. You're all muddy trying to climb up a wall.
It's a pretty brawny team. I think the most physically fit and strong members or the people on the island are on that team. Isn't that one muscly guy? Isn't he on that team?
No.
No, he's not on that team. Oh no, he's on orange.
Yeah.
But
I feel like all the people are fairly fit.
Not green. Green is pretty scrawny.
I guess they're not like super muscly. Kevin has muscles. Cedric, I think, has some muscle. I don't know. I don't think they're like terribly weak.
No, they're not terribly weak, but they're definitely really scrawny. And the other woman left that's on the outs, she's pretty petite.
Mary.
Yeah. So that was a challenge. It wasn't too eventful. It was, I think, just 3 steps: the army crawl, grab a chest,
bring it back,
go to the wall, climb the wall, get the key, and then
unlock the. What did they have to do after?
No, they have to throw the.
They
bags.
had to unlock the. Yeah, they had to throw those.
They had to unlock to get the bags and then throw it.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when the conversation between Eva and who else was it? Joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when they kind of had their talk. Well, actually, they had their initial talk, like, "Hey, let's be number ones," and then they kind of involved. Was it 2 more people?
Yeah.
2 more people, and then they had their talk about her autism, and then that was kind of it for that tribe, and then they were just obviously bonding.
Actually, Eva is not officially a part of the California Girls.
Oh yeah, they formed an alliance called the California Girls because they're all from California.
And 2 of them are gay.
And one of them is definitely gay, and the other one is probably.
Thomas suggested the California Girls, and what is his name? Sahin. Don't know how to say your name. He got really excited.
Yeah,
about being called
he loved that name.
Yeah.
I think they're purple, right?
Yeah.
Loggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll go pretty far. You don't think there's anything eventful between the other? Well, not really, I guess.
Kyle and Camilla had a lot in common.
Oh yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That was a little crazy.
Their families they have family from like this small little island, or this small country.
Yeah.
Or something.
Guyanese or.
Guyanese,
I think.
I have no idea, but obviously that's pretty big.
They said it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and then from the Bronx or something, like their family's also from the Bronx or something like that.
I don't know.
Something about the Bronx was brought up.
I think it was also that.
And Bronx relationships.
Camilla loved the Holes movie.
Oh yeah, and Departed.
And The Departed. And Kyle was just freaking out. I had a second of thinking, like, is Kyle just like agreeing with everything she's saying, and he's targeted Camilla, like, to be like, oh my god, no way.
Oh, and it's
me
like,
too.
And he's like actually never seen it, and he just wants to like.
I just had a split second.
Form relationships, like
nothing came from him first, and Camilla was like, no way. But
yeah, it could have been.
They have a lot of things in common so far. So he feels tight with Camilla.
Yeah.
And then because of that, Charity was walking around talking shit about Kyle, thinking that he had an advantage from the island or from the journey.
Is that why she wrote that, or that why she was?
That's why she was. Yeah.
Oh.
So she was shit talking Kyle to Camilla, thinking that they had a bond, but Camilla turned right around and told Kyle about it.
Yeah.
And then.
So she's definitely on the next tribal they go to.
Yeah, and because then Chrissy was brought in on Kyle and Camilla's group, and then David was brought in.
Yeah.
So those four. So Mitch and Charity are on the outs.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mitch has a speech impediment. That's another.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a standout too.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. I don't have a ton to say. I think it's interesting. I mean, I think it's kind of. It's not standard for Survivor, but it's on track for them to cast somebody with.
Yeah, they're just trying to include more.
Yeah, with somebody, and
representation.
he kind of reminded me. I don't. It's probably not a good comparison, not like an offensive comparison, but like he kind of reminded me a little bit of the Indian guy who was like tweaking out bad on his season. Remember he was like begging, and he was like.
That guy was.
I think he was literally mentally unwell.
He was.
I think he was on the island unmedicated, and he was tripping hard. And
yeah, that was wild.
I think they saw that guy in casting and were like, "Oh,
but I don't
perfect."
think that he compares to Mitch at all.
No, I think there's just always that one person on the island that like has something going on. And it's like, that's kind of the stand.
Not.
That's what I've said. It's probably not a good comparison.
It is not a good comparison because, like, a mental health crisis versus a speech impediment is very different.
They're both disabilities if you think about it.
I guess, but very different.
I guess. I just feel like there's always someone on the island that has a big life thing that's happening.
I don't think that guy was cast for his mental health crisis to happen.
I guess not. What's his name? What is the B?
I can't remember. Wild guy.
It was a pretty fun, and he was like a yogi. He was very like happy. I actually really liked him a lot, and I hope they cast him for season 50.
No, absolutely not.
I think he would be so good on season 50.
No, I don't want to see that. I think that's pretty much everything that happened, except Sai finding her, or Say, not Sai. Say finding her immunity.
Oh yeah, she finds
Be aware.
She finds a be aware.
Oh, actually, David found all the symbols around camp.
Yeah, and he told everybody.
He told everybody.
Yeah, he was like, his first reaction was like, let me tell everyone on my fucking tribe what's going on.
And it was
like
actually Charity that said, I wouldn't have told everybody.
Yeah. But they don't know.
What
I think
means.
at the time, because they showed that before they showed Sai, so we didn't even know what it meant. Say. So we didn't even know what it meant, but it's part of the, what are those puzzles called? Challenge.
But theirs is different because all of the
they have
ones
ropes.
At the orange team, or Siva, they were all black and they had ropes.
Yeah. What?
Why did they have both?
Both what?
Okay, so because we know that she had to do a decoder thing, she had the colors and had to figure out the letters within the color of the word. So then the other Siva, they all had black. They were all black. And then they unwound.
No, it's a signature light over them. Go ahead.
They unwound the letters too. So I wonder how their beware advantage is going to work. Because it's different.
Yeah, I was kind of unsure about that. And I don't even think the other team has a clue what's going on with those. I don't even think...
I mean, it's pretty obvious it has something to do with it.
Well, because someone said, I think she said it, or Say, she was like, oh, I thought that was just like road names. I thought that was like Turtle Road or something.
That was pretty funny when she
just like landmarks, I guess, to like identify, which I think would be
Fish Road.
Yeah, I think that would be smart actually for or not the challenge, but the Survivor for them to have.
I guess I think it's part of it if they get lost. Though.
Yeah.
But
which I've never seen.
I just thought that was funny. No, maybe not like super lost, but
yeah.
I just thought that was funny that it took her so long to realize that had
to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're literally like different colors. Obviously, it's easier to say.
So
sitting here,
orange
but
team, I think, they don't have a clue. Oh no, wait.
They haven't
Purple
found the
team.
beware advantage.
Purple
team, they didn't even.
They didn't even acknowledged it.
Yeah.
So, say she found the beware advantage from like a tree, inside of a tree on the top branch or whatever.
She said she had a feeling.
She had a feeling, and she was kind of scrambling, and I really don't think she would have figured it out had she not had.
She wouldn't.
Had her three other people helping her.
She couldn't even decode or descramble listen.
Yeah, because it ended up being listen. Cause
it had to be Cedric that figured that out for her.
Yeah. So now she has immunity idol in the first fucking episode, which I don't think I've ever seen. I'm sure it's happened, but
yeah, it's happened.
I've never seen it. And I think that's about it for standout moments before the challenge. And then the challenge happens, which is what is it? I know everything after the first step. What is the first step? Something with sandbags, and then they put it on a cart. And I think they've done it before, where you have to like all hold a cart up, and then you like push it on this rail. Yeah. And then
I think there was a part before that.
There was a part before. I don't remember what it was, but it obviously ends up being, or it leads to a puzzle. And I think they all get there at pretty much the same time.
Yeah, they were all right
except
there.
for one team, and then they actually catch up and get second place. Who was it?
So it was Loggy
that got there first.
That was going up first, but then Siba beat them up because of David's muscles.
Okay.
And then Loggy was second to get up, and then it was Vula third, the green team. So then I think the Siba was doing okay, but then Loggy started getting really far ahead with their puzzle, and then the Vula team started going fast, like Kevin and Stephanie were doing okay, and then they slowed down a lot, and then Siba ended up beating them.
Yeah.
So, and Loggy obviously won, and so that's where Stephanie like took responsibility for losing.
Yeah, and their puzzle was pretty wonky. I asked Ariel this. I've never seen a puzzle fall before.
Where it topples over while they're
but it was definitely on path to. It was,
and I think even Jeff said at some point, like, it's gonna fall.
Yeah, like it was pretty shoddy work.
It was wobbly.
Because they were just like pounding on it.
I feel like they missed a piece in the center, and they were just gonna come back to it, but that really screwed them over. Yeah. But yeah, but it was also Kevin who ended up losing the challenge. But for some reason, Stephanie took all the responsibility.
Well, yeah, because she's part of the alliance.
She was not part of the alliance.
He's part of the alliance. Yeah. And then after that, they don't even really show anyone. Is that typical? It's been a while since we've seen Survivor.
Where they show anyone
other than the ones that are up for tribal?
Yeah, no, they don't.
Okay, so it's just from there on Vula?
Vula.
Vula, so it's just them, and there's a moment, because obviously they're all like, or not all, but Say is immediately like, it's gonna be Steph because she fucked up and I don't like her.
And Cedric was on top of that.
Yeah, he was like,
trash talking her.
Yeah,
hard.
Which is kind of, I didn't expect that, but
I didn't quite either, but it made sense.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think there's a ton of gay people.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty gay season.
Pretty heavy gay season.
Yeah.
But he was going hard on Stephanie. Yeah. And then they started telling Justin and Kevin, and then Justin, Mary, and Stephanie have a conversation about getting rid of Say.
Yes.
And then Justin gets asked about that conversation and doesn't tell his alliance that they were talking about Say. Yeah. That was the moment where you were like, oh?
Yeah, it kind of felt like there might be a switch up, and even Kevin was like kind of on board with it, or he was at least considering it.
He and Justin, he was saying that they were like riding this line of choosing which alliance they were going to go for, which I guess they could have because there was 2 on each side, and had they both decided to go with Mary and Stephanie, it would have been that alliance over the crazy alliance, Say and Cedric.
Yes, even though she did, because I thought when she threw her shot in the dark, I thought it was over, which it was.
She still would have.
She could have had a chance.
All you needed was 3. Well,
yeah.
No, actually. Yeah, all you needed was 3, even with her shot in the dark.
So it could have been. And I really thought, like, after her tone at Tribal, I was like, if I were on that bench, I'd be like, this girl is fucking crazy. And like,
I don't know how she got to convincing Kevin and Justin.
Yeah, because it really, everyone on that team feels relatively level-headed.
Except for Cedric.
Yeah, maybe not Cedric, but
Mary seems a little crazy too.
A little bit. They actually.
They're pretty crazy.
The first thing that Say says is she's like on this island with these 2 hoochie mamas, and it was pretty like uncalled for at first. I was like, wow, that's kind of a crazy thing to say, and then you kind of hear them and like, oh, okay, well, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know if hoochie mama's right.
Yeah, maybe not, but I feel like they're relatively. I think on the alliance, they're relatively level-headed. At least Justin and Kevin. I think they're probably the 2 most level-headed people on the entire season, and it might just be because they've been playing pretty low-key.
I don't know about that. I think Joe is like the most level-headed.
Joe? Well, he hasn't had much to do.
Yeah, but like, I think he's the most level-headed so far.
I guess, but
I think Justin is just a pizza-making guy. Like,
yeah, he's just kind of very low-key. Talks about his pizza job all the time, or at least like running his shop.
He compared something to
he compares everything
order.
He compares everything to pizza and like working with people in pizza. Like, and he fucking shows up on the island with the shirt that says pizza. So obviously loves pizza very much. And he's just pretty low-key. I think he's gonna kind of coast by with that alliance. I don't know how he'll do merge, but we'll see. If he makes the one.
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No, I don't like him.
Why not?
I just don't see any personality
Well,
there.
yeah, I don't think he has had much to do. I think because he is trying to, like, ride the line.
When I don't know that he... I don't know. I always feel bad for people who are, like, gaming and they get voted out, like, really quick. Because I feel like Justin isn't gaming. Like, I feel like riding the line is not really
He doesn't need to game, though, because Say is gaming so fucking hard for him.
I guess.
Because she literally
just roped into that alliance.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing else for him to game. Like, when Say was like, all right, we're in alliance. And it was basically like she told them we're in alliance.
Yeah.
Like, we're in alliance now. And then they're, like, kind of doing their own thing. And then they're like, all right, we're going to look for the idol now. Like, she's literally telling them all what to do.
Yeah, she was.
So he doesn't really have an opportunity to game, and even when he is gaming, like, by looking for the idol, it's because of her.
I feel like he would have just been, like, sitting around talking about pizza, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not been
that's what I'm saying. If Say wasn't on that tribal or on that team, I think
I keep saying team.
Yeah, I know.
Tribe.
That tribe, it would look a lot different. I think without her controlling the entire, and I think she's on a tribe of people that are just ready to be controlled or like ready to be told what to do. At least with Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric, I think would not be told what to do. I think he
is being told what to do right now, though.
I guess a little bit. Not really being told what to do because he was just helping Say get her immunity idol.
Yeah.
But he agreed to be in an alliance with her. But he, like, the way he voiced himself after they lost and his hatred for Stephanie, he was ready to...
Which, I know you didn't really like Stephanie.
I didn't really like Stephanie just because of her snorting.
Yeah, she was snorting.
She also looked crazy in her first, like, one-on-one interview.
Yeah. Which Say has, I was like trying to figure out what is about her is like ticking me off to think that she's
I
crazy.
think that she
it's
is
the eyes.
wildly disrespectful.
Wildly disrespectful, and she has coke eyes, like straight up.
Pretty wild eyes.
Really crazy
and they're
stare.
very like expressive, and that's where
Yeah.
the disrespect comes in. Like, yeah, even though you may not, she did it both ways. Like, she did it in her reactions and in her words towards Stephanie.
Yeah.
Being disrespectful.
And I kind of feel bad for Stephanie because, like you said, it sucks when people are gaming really hard and they lose. I think the biggest heartbreak that I had with Survivor was the guy who played a shot in the dark and won it. And what's his name? Kylan?
I don't remember.
He was like the first person or the second person to ever play a shot in the dark, and it worked. And he broke the record for the most amount of.
He should have.
Literally every single person voted for him, and it was just
That was
completely
amazing.
waived. And then the next episode, he gets voted out.
Yeah.
That kind of situation breaks my heart because he was a good game player. He was just in a shitty scenario.
I wouldn't say like Stephanie was gaming like really hard.
Well, that's what
she
I'm
just
saying.
didn't really. She like seemed like she was more involved in the game or wanted to be more involved than Justin
and Cedric, and I think she had potential to do a little bit in the game. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously hard to tell. She got eliminated right away, but I think she had a lot more personality than most of the people on the island, and I think she could have had a very interesting game, especially Merge. I think she would have done pretty decent with Merge, and I think she would have been a very interesting person to follow.
More than Justin. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of Justin.
Yeah, which I think even if Justin has more to do, which I don't know if he will, I think she'd still be more interesting to watch. So it is always a shame because I feel like she was really there to play, but she just got roped in with a shitty team and with a fucking crazy woman who is out
crazy,
to get her.
Like, I just, when it's a young person, like, attacking, like, I don't even know if they said their ages.
No, that was another thing that we instantly...
I don't think anybody ever said their age. Did they?
I think a couple. I think Ava did. 18. But that was the first thing we noticed. Like, oh, I just cracked my arm. The first thing we noticed, or that Jeff even pointed out, is when they finally got on the island and they're all screaming. They're like, yeah, or because he's like, welcome to season 48, and then they're all like, yeah, like yelling, and it was like kind of instant. Like you feel like this is a very chipper cast. And everyone is so happy and like, I feel like pretty youthful. I think maybe the oldest.
There's
oldest?
Chrissy.
Is she the fireman?
Chrissy?
Wait.
Chrissy actually might be. I don't remember.
The fire lady. She's a lieutenant. Fire lady or firefighter. Sorry,
I think
that's
Cedric is older. I think that Joe is a little older. Chrissy's older.
Yeah.
So there's like. I think Mitch is actually older too, like a little bit older too.
Yeah.
But there's some older people.
There's some
they
older,
are fairly young.
But it's mostly like millennials and
younger.
Yeah.
I would say Say and Eva are probably the youngest.
Yeah. But it's mostly really like a lot younger people. I think within typically within Survivor, there's always at least one token old person. There's always one like really old man or really old woman, and that's kind of their whole personality. Oh, I'm grandma or I'm grandpa. What was it last season when that one lady, she was like, I'm grandma. She was partnered with Caroline.
Yeah.
And they always get what?
Sue.
No, not Sue. Oh, it is Sue. Oh my god.
I'm 45.
Oh my god, she said I'm 45 and she looks like she's like on the way out.
No, lady, you do not look 45.
That was pretty crazy.
You look 65 and she was like 57 or something.
I was actually thinking of someone else, and then you said Sue's name and it was like a gut reaction because I pictured her in my head immediately. Who's this dirty woman who's like always covered in mud and dirt.
On her way to be a Catwoman. Like,
Yeah. I was thinking of
her.
someone else before that.
You said Carolyn. That was her alliance with Sue.
No, it was another older woman. No,
It
Sue was
doesn't
2
matter,
seasons
that
ago.
was- No, it was last season.
No, it was 2 seasons ago.
No.
It was 2 seasons ago. I'm thinking of another old. Oh no, I'm thinking of the lady that was on D season. The older lady that was on it. Well, anyway, she wasn't that old, but there's always one token old person, and there's really not anyone I would say that is above. I think maybe there's 1 or 2 people that are maybe early 50s.
Prediction, I think.
Okay, so my prediction is Say's gonna get out.
Next episode?
No, not next episode, but I think she'll get out. I don't think she'll make it to merge. I think she's gonna say something to one of her teammates, probably Kevin or maybe Justin, maybe both of them.
Kevin and Justin could turn on Cedric and say at any moment.
I think Justin and Kevin are most likely gonna turn on both Cedric and Say. I don't think Cedric is ever gonna turn on her.
No, I think Cedric and Say, unless Say goes against Cedric, I think they're pretty locked in.
Yeah.
But Mary, being there, she could either be an easy vote or she could sway Justin and Kevin.
Yeah. Once they lose again, which will probably be next episode because they suck, it's either going to be her or they're going to flop on Say.
I think there's a possibility that Loggy loses maybe the reward challenge and then they start talking about shit. I don't know. There was
It seems like there was some pretty big
trailer,
conflict because Thomas was pissed.
Thomas was pissed.
Yeah. So
which could even be a misunderstanding with her autism.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
And I think Joe would clear that up if he had to. At least he would defend her and tell her immediately, like, yo, they're talking about you.
You know, a player that has not really been talked about? This woman, Bianca.
Let me see.
Don't even remember her at all, Bianca.
I've never seen that woman before in my entire life.
Yeah, she has not gotten like hardly any screen time. She may have been on the screen for 1 second.
I think that happened with a couple people just because like they didn't have much.
I think she's the only one. She's
Really?
the only one that I can't think of. I mean, Star didn't really have much, but she at least went off and they asked
Star
her.
was pretty loner. Like I think had they not had that conflict where they're like, hey, why are you looking for the? Or they didn't confront them, but had they not been caught looking for the idol, I don't think we would have heard anything about them. So my predictions, I'm already gonna give out my last 3 tribal councils.
Your last 3?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be right. So it's gonna be I want to say Eva.
You wanna look at this?
Yeah. It's gonna be Chrissy, because she's the oldest. She's gonna be the GOAT. It's gonna be Thomas, because I think he's gonna play the best. And I'm not gonna lock in the last person. I think for sure I'm gonna lock in Thomas and Chrissy. I think they're automatically going to the last 3. And I think it's gonna be either Kyle or Mitch. I think if Mitch goes, he probably wins.
Okay.
I think Kyle is a pretty decent player, and I think if he plays his cards right, he could make it to the end. I could also see Kevin being in the final 3.
You know, it's pretty wild to try and make your prediction for the final 3 right now.
I think at least my final 2 for sure. Absolutely locked in. Absolutely locked in. No.
How about just your winner? Who's gonna win?
I think it's gonna be out of the 2 that I know are locked in. Chrissy's not. She's not getting a single vote. I think Thomas is gonna win.
You think Thomas is gonna win?
Thomas is gonna win. If Eva makes it to the last tribal, which
win.
I think she would win, but I don't think she's gonna make it.
You actually okay? My turn.
And if Mitch goes, they might as well go home because he's winning.
Alright. I think Joe and Eva are gonna be in the end.
I think it's too perfect. I think people are gonna see their connection and they're gonna be like, we gotta break that up.
Maybe. Joe, Eva, and Camilla.
Camilla.
I don't know. I think it's hard to tell right now because
Not for me.
Without making it to the merge,
I would love to see another.
It's hard to say because anything can happen in this stage where we're in 3 different tribes. Because if one team just continues to lose and lose and lose, then they have to pick off the good players from that team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to say. Like,
I think Thomas at least makes it to merge, no doubt. It's just kind of a weird comparison because they were like kind of low key a couple, or like it felt like it on the season. But I would really love for exactly like how Joe and Eva to make it to the end, just how like Dee and Austin made it to the end by just completely dominating, like winning everything, getting all the advantages.
Dee used Austin though.
That is true, and I still think that he should have won because he just completely dominated that season. But we're on another season. But
yeah, I didn't finish my prediction.
Okay, I'm just saying that in a perfect world, that would be, I think what you're right is them getting to the end. But I think they would have to have the same amount of luck and skill that Dee and Austin. Well, it was more Austin and his homeboy, the little scrawny guy.
Mm-hmm.
They were really the masterminds of that entire season.
Yeah.
So what was your prediction?
If Joe and Eva make it to the end, I think that Joe would be like, give the money to Eva.
I don't think he would do all that.
I think he would. But then I think hopefully the tribal would be like, no, Joe, you're such an outstanding guy. We're going to give you
This
money.
is such a crazy prediction. I don't even think it's remotely true, or like even.
It's
I don't
more
think
crazy than yours.
I don't think he would ever say, "You're so amazing. Your autism is so brave."
He already said, like, even if it means losing the game, I've got her.
I believe that. I think that if it meant that he had to lose, he would let her get there. But I think if he was at tribal, he would definitely defend himself and be like, "I think I deserve it." And I don't think he would be like, "Oh, Eva's so great. I see her like a daughter. I would never ask for money over her."
I think it would be a back and forth. Like, no, give it to Joe, give it to Eva, give it.
This is again. I think they have a really good connection, or like a good foundation for a solid team, or a solid bond, or like partnership. I don't think it's that crazy, but I really do hope that they make it at least a top 5, or at least if they make it to post-merge, I think they have a solid shot. But I think a lot of people are going to see their connection, and they're going to be very kind of ticked off about it, or they're going to be concerned about it.
They'll be intimidated by it.
Intimidated, that's the word I was looking for.
You know what? I just had a thought. Maybe Bianca will make it to the end because they didn't give her any screen time. So maybe she's like hiding in the back, gonna become this like great player. I feel like there's been like Rachel. I don't think that she got a ton of screen
Actually,
time
that is
right
true.
At the beginning.
Rachel, I didn't really consider her a threat until she got saved, and then she just like was on a roll for the rest of the season.
She was like one of the best players.
Yeah. That
we've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Once, who was it saved him or saved her? Also very gay. You should, if you've not seen that season, he had.
Was he gay?
Did you see his outfit? He had a leather vest on with no shirt. That is.
Yeah, I don't think he was it Saul?
Saul, yeah.
I don't think he was gay.
If he's not, his fashion taste is gay.
He's fashionable.
A leather vest with no shirt is crazy. And leather pants, like that is insane. If you're not
he
gay,
didn't give off gay vibes though.
I guess not.
I don't know. He didn't come off like that to me.
I guess, but well, anyway, he saved Rachel, and she was just on a roll after that. But yeah, before that,
the reason why she made it.
Yeah, but before that, she was really pretty low key, and I don't even really remember Rachel before that moment. And then after that moment, it's like, oh, Rachel's a star now.
Yeah, so that could be Joe, Eva, and Bianca. That would be 3 people from Loggy making it to the end. But that's my prediction right now.
Joe, Eva, and Loggy.
And Bianca. remember.
What was her name?
Bianca.
Oh, Bianca. Joe, Eva, and Bianca. That's a crazy prediction because one, they've never shown her. Two, Joe and Eva are. That's literally just purely like I want that to happen.
Of course I want that to happen, and that's the only thing I can guess at this point. Like,
She's
there's nothing that shows like who's gonna make it.
She's not tapped in like me. I already know Thomas is at the end.
Thomas is a good player, so that's why I think that he would get voted out in the merge.
He's too smart.
Unless he has like a really strong alliance, I don't.
He's got the California girls.
I guess he has been making quick friends.
And everybody on the show, or everyone on the island every season
is gay.
Loves gays. Yam Yam one.
Well, they're all gay,
Teeny?
so they won't fall for it.
I guess, yeah, true.
No, they're not all gay.
But gay people notoriously make it pretty far on the show. I think that's just, if we're talking statistics, they make it pretty far.
As long as they're not like super bitchy.
Yeah, as long as they're, well, Yam Yam was a little bit of a diva.
Yam Yam was a bit of a diva.
I don't know how he won. I really don't know how he won. I think that was just like a really lame cast. Well, was that Carolyn's season?
Yeah, I think it was Carolyn's season.
Okay, so that's our. I want to make. We're probably already way overdue with this video, but I want to make. No, I guess we should do it next season. I want to make a prediction for. I want to make a fan prediction for season 50 cast.
Oh.
Like a rough.
Well,
basis.
Jeff talked about like options, but I didn't see anything.
Oh yeah, Jeff said on a podcast that we would be able to vote for like key details and like game styles for season 50, which I have not seen. Well, Vienna's waking up, so we gotta go. I think that's pretty much all we have to say. We'll do our predictions or our fan cast for season 50 on season 49 premiere. Because I have to think about it a little bit.
I guess.
I have some people. Carolyn is my top pick. Maybe just because we've been watching the trailers.
Carolyn, to be honest.
That'd be so great.
It just depends on if they're going to be doing new people or old people.
She's against you and old. I would like both.
I don't want them to be combined.
I would love for them to be combined. That's it. I was gonna say something. That was it.
That's it.
That's it.
Pink Ember Media out.
Yeah.